My family, we moved here to Manama maybe around 1984, 1985. We had to move here from Maharrak because my dad wanted to be closer to his father because he was getting older, he needed help. So I was maybe around 8 when that happened. الحين أنا عشت يعني oh sorry I lived here for maybe 40 years now, and back then there weren't many buildings at all. I remember there was this big field in front of our house, a huge empty field, nothing but sand. And I would go there, meet up with the boys in the neighborhood, play football, play catch. I spent most days of my childhood there. And now all of that been replaced by buildings and people, and it's just sad that a part of my childhood is not there. I work as a cab driver. Actually, now, because of what happened, because all the stuff that changed, now there are a lot more people. So, in terms of my job, it did help a lot. Before, in those days, there weren't any non-Bahrainis, like at all. We're all Bahrainis, the same culture, same language. Now it's been filled with so many immigrants that you see a lot more of them, even more than Bahrainis. I feel like the Bahraini culture itself is dying. It's not what it used to be. The main thing that's been happening over the past years is all the buildings, all the cultural buildings that I grew up seeing are all being torn down. They're being replaced by newer, more modern buildings. And I feel like a part of Bahrain is being torn down. For example, the new post office, I really don't like what they did to it. It was fine the way it was.
Well, I have been living in Manama since 1980. Since I got married in 1980, I moved there with my husband. And in the past, the area looked very beautiful with courtyards. And now you only see cars. In the past, you would see so many courtyard houses. Now all those courtyard houses have become very old and they are in a very bad condition and nobody cares about them. And you have like mostly laborers and migrant workers living in it. And the new buildings they make are very tiny and the rooms are small and the roads are filled with car park area. That is why I don't no longer like living in Manama, because there is so many cars and so many roads and there is so much crowd. Well, an advantage is that I get to go to the market very quickly. I don't have to sit in the car and go far somewhere to get my groceries. I can just go outside and there is the market right there in the neighborhood. Well, I just wish it was a nicer city to live in with more trees, less car and nice courtyard houses. I also want to have that neighborhood feel, but with all the cars and closed apartment buildings, you don't get that feeling of being in a farij. You feel very suffocated.
My name is Yusuf, 26. I work in a gym at Manama. I was born in Salmania Hospital. Me and my family were here in Manama a very, very long time. My father, my mother, my grandfather, and the rest. How did Manama change? Me, I'm still young, so not much has changed, but my grandfather told me that there were less buildings and the sea was closer to us.
I have been living here in Manama for 35 years. I was in this country. I chose this area before because my shop is here. I am a shopkeeper. I have a cold store in Manama, and so it is very close. When I came here before, 35 years before, Manama was not like how it is today, too much crowd and all. It was a very beautiful place. It is still beautiful, but it is very crowded now. And the rent was very good in Manama, very cheap. Bahrain is a very, very beautiful country, especially for expats. It is very good. Now disadvantages only. Now only it is coming. Too much crowd. Cannot drive car. It is no biggest problem I face. Biggest problem is parking. There is no parking at all in Manama. But in the end of the day, this is my home. I love it. And many new people nowadays, you're like you, new generation coming in Manama saying it is too much crowd, it is this, it is that. Maybe better they need street planning, better crowd planning, and even more important, they need better parking because people are parking on footpath, people are parking inside the house also sometimes. And the best thing I love about the area is that the diversity, like the diversity in shops and everything in one place. You want groceries, you have a shop for that, and you want restaurants, there is restaurants. So everything is you'll find in Manama. It is the center, it is the heart of Bahrain. Yes, thank you very much for asking me these questions.